Hi there, come along with me to an auction at a person's house. It was not online. These are fun to go to. I was lucky number 84. This was in York County. It was probably 45 minutes away from me, but you can tell this is why I came. Look at all the stuff. They had so many good things. And fair warning, I don't come away with a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, there were a lot of people there despite it being rainy. I was hoping the rain would drive people away. Unfortunately, it did not. Let's see. They had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things that I wanted, but I did not get because either the price went too high or they did not get to them by the time I finally left. I got there, let's see, it started at 9. I got there a little bit after 8 because it was in a residential neighborhood. And usually, auctions that are in neighborhoods don't have a lot of parking. You have to park on the street, especially if there isn't a field. And they were pretty full. I wasn't parked too far away, so it wasn't too bad. They had a food truck this time. That was good because I think the last auction I went to, they didn't have a food truck. A lot of vintage items, a lot of toy things. You'll see a lot of toys, toy collections, a lot of Star Trek, Star Wars. I'm trying to think of other things. Well, you will see. This set I seriously thought about bidding on. I was even tempted while I was going to put my, you know, throw caution to the wind and be able to pack all of that glass, but that went to somebody else. I think those playing card plates were Nortaki, if I remember correctly. It was a single car garage, but they did have it set up very nicely, very organized. It was easy to see everything. You of course had to look under the tables and kind of back in corners, but for the most part, I thought it was very well organized. Things were very clean. That's always nice. I was hoping they would get to this box of planters before I left, but they did not. I really like this lady. Valentine themed planters, I believe, sell very well. They had a little frog planter. And based on what I saw before I left there around 3 o'clock. They were selling things by the piece. And I think that's why it took a little bit longer to get through all of the collections. Usually, the most auctions that I go to, they sell them in lots. So they would have probably split this box up into two, and then you could bid on which box lot you wanted. But they were selling them by the piece, which I don't blame them. There were some really very nice pieces there. Most auctions that I go to, I find them on auctionzip.com, and you can look at pictures. They usually have pictures of the things that are going to be for sale. And I usually try to look at them quite a few times, make notes, look things up if I think something is worth money, look up things if I don't know if it's worth money. And that is so then you're a little bit more prepared. And that's how I do auctions. And then, of course, sometimes when you're driving around, you'll see an auction sign. But for the most part, I think I use auctionzip.com. Highbid.com, I think, is mostly for online auctions, if I'm not telling lies. Here they had all of the toys organized. I'll go back and show you more of that. They had a whole bunch of tollware. This went for very high money. If I remember correctly, the lady of the house, she was an art teacher and she painted that. That box of Elvis stuff that I'm holding, that went really, really high. I want to say 85, $90. And this set of dishes I thought were plastic. I thought would be Melamac or melamine, but they were not. And I don't know if they had a marking on them. This little box lot I thought was cute. I really like that framed picture of those critters. I think it was from Denmark. I thought that was really neat. And then they had some ephemera. I'm going to flip through real quickly. It was very old, so I don't like touching it too much because I'm always afraid it's going to fall apart.
That's what I thought
I had seen this bunny online and it was made out of, I think, a paper mache mold. Here's all the toys. They had it organized very nicely. I don't really do a lot of toys. I don't know a lot about toys. Some things you grab my, interest, or I had it as a child. For instance, my sister had this when we were little. She had all the Star Wars figurines. I think this was a hummingbird feeder, missing the little straw. And this was cute, this little kitchen toy. You turn that top crank and then it blended your stuff. This was pretty, this candlestick, but it didn't have a marking on it, but it looked vintage to me. And my mom had that eggnog set too, I believe. Then look at this. I was really hoping that they would get to this before I had to leave, but they did not. Look at all of that. Usually I've only found the mugs in at Goodwill or in the wild. I haven't seen that much Bennington pottery in one place. I thought this was ceramic, but it was made out of wood. It had a butterfly on one side of it. And then the mugs in the back caught my attention, and they were Fire King. That's Fire King.
I always said if I have a phone, I have a Friday.
I wanted to see what the tray was underneath, and I think there were about 4 of those trays, and I think those are the paper, kind of the heavy paper lacquer trays that are made in Japan. They did get to the ashtrays while I was still there. They sold them by the piece. So they took the nicer ones from here and you bid on them separately. And so the prices went high immediately. And the lady who won bought both of the skull ashtrays. There's one in that box lot, and there's going to be one over to the left when I move over to the left. I was interested in getting the ashtrays if they were selling them as a box lot, but they were not. I can understand why. There were some really cute ones. I would have bid on this kitty cat one. And that was neat with the pipe on the ashtray, but one of them had a crack down the middle. And then underneath they had boxes and boxes of ashtrays that I think that the person liberated from different restaurants and casinos, if you catch my drift. So they had all of those boxes, and those they sold as the whole box. And I think they averaged, I think maybe 15, and then it went to 12, and I think the last box lot sold for 7. We are now on the front porch by the front door. They had lights and some step stools and chairs here. And then on the other side of the front porch, they had artwork. They had that super tall Buckley Moss print that I pointed out to you a few moments ago. This was it. The camera is going back and forth because there's a lot of people, and I'm trying not to push anybody or get too close to anybody. Here they had box lots. They did sell these as box lots. They had just little doodahs in them, and I have a lot of doodahs from past auctions. So I was trying to see if there were any box lots that had a group of things that I thought that somebody might be interested in.
No, guys, I got it. You can just relax. You'll be sitting.
Sorry.
We'll be walking.
I didn't know if I was on the clock yet.
Yeah. I'll pay you double.
Okay. Just send you the bill, right?
Absolutely.
We are going to go back into the garage to give another look around. There are some Christmas small blow molds. Those went for pretty decent money. They just had the snowman and the Santa Claus. There's the pottery again. I didn't want to repeat myself, so I was trying to find new things to show you. I thought that was really cool, that kangaroo. I haven't really seen a kangaroo brass figurine. This is what I was talking about earlier with the collection of items. This was grouped in with some other things, and that sold for $92, I believe. And the man was after that piece, that Dalek that I have in my hand. Apparently, those sell for really high money. And the auctioneer made a funny joke. He had this whole lot of Star Trek things, and he said, "Oh, I don't know what these I don't know what these are. When I was younger, I played outside." So I thought that was kind of funny. Back in the old days when kids played outside. And coming up, we are going to look at some things outside. They had some Melamac sets. They sold these by the grouping.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, I can tell you when I'm not leaving the house. There's no makeup, no hair, there's...
I had a little gnawing and I walked past that box and oh, beautiful salad. I loved it. He does. I do. Oh, I just loved it yesterday. I didn't get to talk to Chris last week to see how she felt. But I know she thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, he had fun.
Yeah, oh, he did.
He was excited about his birthday cake for
Was
Daddy.
he?
Daddy's birthday cake. Yeah. We make a birthday cake almost every day.
Coming up, we're going to hear from the auctioneer. See if you can keep up with him because he was fast.
All right, we got an Asian flower pot. Asian pot on the stand. Asian flower pot. She is a pretty one with the flowers. Who? $10, over $10, out of it at 10. 10 of it, 10 of it, 10, 10 of it, 10 of it, 10, 10 of it, 10 of it. Amazon. 10 to get a 10, get a 10, 10 to get a 10, to get a 10, 10 to get a 10, 25. 5 of it, 5 of it, 5, 5, $5. 5, 7.5. Bottom middle 7.5. Bottom middle 7.5. Middle 7, 7.5. Middle 7, 7.5. 7.5, 7.5. Bottom middle 7.5. Bottom middle 7.5. 7.5. Bottom middle 7.5. 7.5. I'm at 5 here. 7.5. Sold $5 to you, ma'am. Number 61, number 61. I think it all depends on where this is. If it's not in front of my face, I gotta pull it up.
That's the way mics work.
They're Kodak and Argus. Who give me $10 on a get 10? Just give us our tray back. We just sell on the cameras. Who give me 10 a bit, 10 a bit, 10, 10 a bit, 10 a bit, 5. $5 on the old cameras. 5, $6, $6, how a bit of $7, $7, $8, $9, $9, $10, $10, $11, $11, $11. I'm at 10 a bit, 11. 10 a bit, 11, bit, 11, bit, 11, 11, bit, 11, bit, 11, 11, bit, 11, bit, 11, 11, bit, 11. Sold at $10.
So how did you do? He was really fast, but for being really fast, he was very clear, I thought. Sometimes I have to wait for the first couple things to sell before I get in the rhythm of the auctioneer. There were 2 other auctioneers, and they were very easy to understand as well. This is something that I'm going to keep a lookout for, this Navarone play set. It sells for big money online. I think it sold for $100 that day. Here's a stained glass parrot I thought was very pretty. And I'm going to finish up our trip to the auction by showing you some items after this to keep an eye out for. And that's one of the things I do like going to auctions is you learn new things by researching and looking them up and seeing how much they go for. Frankly, if something goes for high, you kind of make a note of it to keep it in your brains to remember it for next time. This is coming up here is a false graph pie dish. But what I really liked about this dish was this insert on it. It had a little saying. It does come out and falls on the floor, but I do pick it up and put it back in the pie plate. But for instance, I'm going to keep an eye out for this right here. This is a Hager piece. This is called a candy dish, and it goes for good money. I was trying to bid on that, and someone outbid me at $60. So I decided to walk away from that. And also, I'm going to keep an eye out for this. This is very, very heavy. And I really like the design on it. Some of you might already know what it is. And here it is on the bottom. It's a Hall China teapot from the 1939 World's Fair. And now for a short intermission. We are back for the 3rd installment of our Pets as Humans by Jenny, right?
Yeah.
So 3rd in line, we have Susie. Susie is our youngest dog. We got her as a puppy also. I really wanted a Shih Tzu, and I wanted a Shih Tzu because
so she could, style her hair like lots you see on the internet.
I really wanted like a really fluffy, floofy baby dog with bows in her hair and always so sweet and clean and doesn't like being outside. And we got the complete opposite with Sue.
Well, she is fluffy, so we got that part.
But I wouldn't change anything about her.
Yeah, she's so lovable.
She is the wildest dog we have ever had.
This is the only good picture I could take of her without her moving her feet.
Because she's actually begging in this picture. She's moving her arms up and down. I've showed that in a video before. She's the first dog that we've ever had that can jump. She jumps like a cat.
Oh, and there she is right now.
Yeah, she's out in the hallway grunting at us because we're in here and she's not there. She loves being with us. She loves being near us. and if she sees like an inch of lap, she's there. She has jumped up like on our arms, on our shoulders, and if you've seen this too in videos where I've crouched down and she'll jump on your back. She's wild. We love her. We love all of our dogs, but she's crazy. So Jenny, are you ready? Do you want to say anything more, or ready to review her?
Her clothes are going to be a bit different than from the other two.
Okay, ready for the reveal?
Yes.
Here we go. There she
is.
All right, Jenny, let's start at the top with her hair.
So, it's bedhead. It's a bedhead because she hates being brushed. She'll fight on it. She acts like she's being tortured, even though she's really not.
We're just trying to take good care of her, but she hates getting her hair brushed. She will tolerate her ears and her tail.
I think because she likes it.
Well, but anything around her face, she does not like. And when she was little, her hair, well, it's still like this, but when we would take her for walks, it was like she had Velcro hair. And I joke that we should have named her Leaves because we got her in the late summer, and so we're going into fall, and we would take her for walks, and then she'd have all these leaves stuck underneath her belly, and then she
other
would
stuff like those
like twigs
like those
and things.
like little things that have like spurs on them. I don't know what they're called.
They're like Christmas tree ball things.
Yeah, those thingies.
So she'd have everything stuck, and then she would stop walking. So she knows the command leaves, and she rolls over, and then we have to pick out all the leaves and the twig. You can see there's a twig over there. And why is her face messy?
Her
She
face
has
messy
crumbs on her face?
because she's really messy. Like whenever she drinks water, her face is soaked. Like you don't even know, like you can even tell it's soaked. It's just like
So she has some crumbs on her face. Her face is a little wet and muddy.
I give a little snarl tooth because she does that. She's like Indy, but it's a bit smaller than
She has an
Indy's.
underbite. And why the chicken bone on her shirt?
Because we like to joke around. Is it chicken?
Yeah, we always joke, like, even if you're opening, I don't know, a paper towels or anything, she's like, is it chicken? That's what we always joke that because she's very food oriented. She's the first dog. My gram had a dog that used to sit in her chair with her. And I used to think when Susie was little, oh, she loves me so much. No, she's just food oriented. She just wants to be closer to the food. So Jenny made her clothes a little
dirty, and I give her yoga pants because again, she parkours a lot. Like a few times. Don't worry, she was safe. She actually jumped on the banister upstairs.
Yes, Jimmy was behind her,
so she was fine. Don't worry.
And she does tend to not. She doesn't jump on places if we're not there. Like we never walk into a room. Well, we've never caught her, and she's on a table.
Yeah. The only time she's somewhere else is when I'm waking up, going downstairs. She's immediately on the top of the sofa.
Yeah, she's on the back of the
sofa.
sofa.
But that's safe, though, because it's soft.
Right. So what are her likes?
She likes food, obviously. She likes being outside, because she wants to go outside, which doesn't even have to go to the bathroom.
She loves being outside. She likes watching the birds, and sometimes there's a squirrel. It's like she's bored, and sometimes she'll be like, can I go outside? She loves being outside. If it's hot, if it's cold, it doesn't matter.
Me.
Yeah, she's opposite of Jenny. And Jenny, what are her dislikes?
Baths, sorry, I'm messing up.
It's okay.
Because I had to go with Mama to give Susie a bath because we go to this pet store that has like an their own dog thing.
Yeah, well, she doesn't fit in our kitchen sink, so it's easier.
Anymore,
and she hates baths as much as she hates being brushed. So we go to a pet store.
Yeah, but she'll fight.
It's so hard.
It's like this like a black leash thing you put under their bellies for like I guess
to
bigger
keep
dogs.
to keep them in.
We have to do that to her, or else she'll just be jumping around.
And she's again the torture of being groomed and well taken care of and loved.
And hair being brushed because of the bedhead.
And so there's her name, Susie. So that is Susie.
Next time.
Let's tell her nicknames. So her name is Susie Q, but then Jenny started calling her Boo Boo, and then that turned into Doo Doo, and then we also call her Shih Tzu. So she will answer to Doo Doo, Boo Boo, Shih Tzu, Susie, and then it's changed to Dewey. So she has a.
I think she's the most of our dogs that have a lot of nicknames.
Yeah, because Barney is Barney, Barn,
and then
Bernard.
I call him Little Cow.
Or Little Cow. And then
Indy is like Couch Potato.
Couch Potato, Indy, Indiana, Big Girl.
Yeah, Daddy calls her that.
Yeah, and then Charlie, his
Is
nickname
Chocolate.
Charlie Chocolate.
The brown bear.
Yeah, Daddy calls him Chubby.
Chubby, yeah.
Because he's big fluff ball.
He is a big
And I call him
foosball.
Charles Barkley because he likes to bark.
And I call him, okay, this is...
Oh, and I call him
probably-
Charcharoo.
Yeah.
Weird.
I call him Tissue Raccoon, and I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
explain that in his picture
Yes.
because it's really silly.
You'll have to wait to find out why he's a tissue raccoon. All right, so the last episode will be of Charlie, and we're ending it with Susie. Thanks for watching. Here is everything that I picked up on my trip to the auction. I hope you enjoyed watching the video and coming along with me to the live in-person auctions. They're one of my favorite things to do. I hope you enjoyed the latest segment of our Dogs as People. I really appreciate the kind words that you have left her. She loves hearing them, the kind words of encouragement that you have given her. That really means a lot to me and Jimmy. I hope you enjoyed this video and are having a great day. And I'll see ya.